Hello everyone, this is another video from Reef Automation. Today I'm going to show you my 300-gallon fish-only tank, which I've had a number of people ask about. So we're going to go over what's in there, some of the equipment that I'm using, and go through some of the automation that I use in it. There's not much, as it's just a fish-only tank. So again, we'll just go over some of the fish. This is all fake coral. A lot of people ask me if this is real coral, but it is indeed all fake. I got it from a company in Florida called Living Sea Aquarium, which I believe is out of business now. They used to do the Fish Tank King show on Nat Geo, if anybody remembers. So right now it's feeding time, so we're gonna get all the fish to go nuts here. But we'll go through some of the ones that I got, some of the rare ones I have. You'll see I have 3 bubble tip anemones. It started with 1, and of course it split over time. So I got my pearl scale butterfly fish there. That's the golden back angel right there. There's my coal tang, my Clarky clownfish, who pretty much hangs out in the anemones all the time. I have 2 blue damsels there. I have a cardinal fish up there. So I got an Achilles tang right there. This is a Hawaiian black trigger. He's my second largest fish in the tank to my flamingi, which you can see kind of passing by. I got 2 fox faces. I got a yellow fox face and a magnificent fox face, which, see if I can get to them right over there. I have a number of chocolate chip starfish also in here. You can see one kind of sitting over there. That's a Harlequin tusk right there. There's my flamingi and a coal tang. This is a Craceris angelfish, which is a little rare. I've had him for a very long time. I've had him since he was a juvenile. This is a blue barred parrotfish right there. Also kind of a rare parrotfish. I try to get rare things in here that I can keep alive. Let's see what else. There's one of my anthias. This is still lyre tail anthias. Used to have a lot more of those, but over time they kind of disappear, as sometimes the smaller fish do in this tank. I used to have a very large eel in here, but unfortunately he passed away and he would eat some of these smaller fish. There's my Spanish hogfish, who's getting quite big. I've had him for a very long time. I've had him since he was probably about 2 inches, and now he's upwards of almost a foot. Let's see, yeah, there's the Clarky hanging out. As I said, I have a lot of chocolate chip starfish. There's another one back there. Those are the only invertebrates I put in here, with the exception of the anemone, because obviously most of these fish will eat just about anything I throw in here. I do have 1 coral, which is the mushrooms, which I took from my other tank. I didn't have enough room for it, and it was starting to get really bad. But as you can see, they don't do so well in here. More than likely due to the fact that probably something's eating them. It's also possible that the lighting isn't good enough for the corals in here, which I'll go over in a second. So that's pretty much what I got in here. I have a potter angelfish as well, but he doesn't come out very often. Also, one of my favorite fish is my little hawkfish here, and I don't know if you had a chance to see him, but he kind of hides quite a bit. But I do have a hawkfish in here as well. So we'll go over kind of the lights first. If I see the hawkfish, I'll bring it back down. But I'm actually using the Current USA 72 inchers, because this is about an 8-foot long tank. So they don't make many lights that are long enough to spread. I got 2 auto feeders up there. I also have 2 MP40s in here and a battery backup. Again, this tank doesn't have a lot of automation in it. It's a very basic system. Very easy system to maintain as well. So I have 2 overflow boxes in the corner, one over there, and then I have one over here. I just put a new skimmer in yesterday, so we're still getting a little bit of micro bubbles out of it, which I'll show you, which I just have to wait till it kind of dies down. And there's the Mr. Hawkfish right there. That's probably one of my favorite fish. And he's got a gigantic belly. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's a gigantic belly. So one thing you'll notice about my system is I have lights that come on when I take the doors, when I open the doors. So I have these little sensors here, which when they open will turn on the lights in my sump, which makes it a lot easier to get around here. The CW clear water scrubber, that's a CW 300. I got 2 Clarices and I have a media reactor for phosphate remover. There's the new skimmer. Like I said, I just put it in a couple days ago, so it's still kind of tuning in, getting where I need it to get. That's about it. Nothing much here in the sump other than what I just showed you. On the other side, we have my chiller and 2 additional pumps, which we'll go over. So this is a JBJ chiller. I think it's a 4th horsepower, and there is a commercial grade fan behind this chiller where I can vent the hot air from inside the cabinet out. This is my skimmate collector, and then I have an L1 powering the entire sump back there, which you can see. That goes into a T, which then goes up to the 2 returns. There's all my Apex gear for this tank, mostly leak detectors and sensors. I do have a couple probes in here for salt and pH, ORP. I do dose ozone, which is back behind here. There's an ozone generator back there. I use 2 Vectra pumps, one for the UV sterilizer, which is right here, and one for the chiller. The UV sterilizer is strictly for ick prevention, so I set that flow to extremely low. I think it's set to 1% for the ability to get that the ick prevention from it. You have to have a low flow. The Vectras, of course, I can't control with Neptune, so in this cabinet, which I'm not going to open because it's difficult to get back, has a Reef link in it along with a battery backup, which does basically everything in this tank with the exception of the MP40s. I do have those MP40s on a WXM, which makes it easier for me to control it when I'm doing any type of feed modes or any type of maintenance modes. So all these doors are vacuum sealed with weather stripping to prevent noise. And like I said, I do have lights on them as well. So that's pretty much it for the 300. And like I said, I've had a number of people ask me about it. So I'm just going to go through all the fish I have, and you know, I usually feed them about 3 times a day. My phosphates on this tank are usually between 0 and 0.1. My nitrates are usually between 10 and 25. I don't maintain calcium or alkalinity in this tank. As I said, there's no corals. And I keep the salinity at about, generally about 29-30 ppt, which is roughly 1.022, 1.023 for fish. You know, maybe one day I would turn this into a reef tank or whatnot, but unfortunately most of these fish will eat coral. And of course I'd have to get some very large calcium reactor, which I have no room for. But anyway, if you liked the video, please hit the like button below and subscribe to the channel. We do live streams every week, and generally I do giveaways. So they are generally on Saturday mornings. So if you have any questions or comments about the video, just leave them below. Thank you for watching, and I hope everyone has a great day.